Hi, in this tutorial we'll be looking at a phasing in and out effect in Tyflow. To do this we'll first create a really simple sphere, and I'll make the sphere a bit more complicated by adding greeble in the modifier list. This will create a Death Star looking shape for us, and this is what we'll be using to phase in and out. Next we'll be using a box. First draw a rectangle, make sure it's larger than the Death Star, and then make sure the Death Star is within the box's boundaries. The box is what will be used to cause the Death Star to phase in and out. Once you are happy with this, we will then convert this into a editable poly. Right click, convert to editable poly. Once converted, in the selection, select polygon and click on the surface that's the closest to the Death Star. Now we'll begin our simple animations. To do this, click on Auto key in the bottom right. Make sure our timestamp is set to 0 out of 100. Set a key. Then move our timestamp all the way to the end to 100 of 100. Then move this surface so that it completely engulfs our Death Star. Once done, then set another key. Once you're happy with that, it should look like this. So the rectangle completely engulfing our Death Star in the animation. Once that is done, we can now begin Tyflow. To load in Tyflow, under Standard Primitives, click the Tyflow button, click and drag to load in the Tyflow object. Then under Modifiers, we'll open up the editor. In the editor, we want to load in a birth object and also a scale, which is here. Load scale in. For the scale, we want to set it to absolute and also change the X, Y, and Z coordinates to 0. Now we want to put in a brick fracture. Brick fracture is used to basically create our phasing in effects on the Death Star. So for this we need to enable it first. Change the length to 10 centimeters, width to 10 centimeters, and also the height to 10 centimeters. We'd also need to turn off the offsets by basically turning them to 0. Now we'd want to, in birth objects, finally pick our Death Star. The reason I did this after these other settings was because of lag. And once done, in display properties, we'll set this to geometries. Once set to geometries, we can click on our Death Star and hide the selection. And now the Death Star is gone. For this, we need to do some more things to make it reappear. But first, to make things a bit easier for us, we'll click on this box, right click on it, and under object properties, we'll make it see-through. So to do this, under rendering control, click on buy layer, unclick renderable, display options, click on buy layer and display as box. Now it will be a a see-through box. So the Death Star has disappeared, and in our animations we can see that it is completely gone. In order to make that reappear, we will have to run a surface test. So click on surface test, drag that in, and put that in under scale. In surface test, under objects, we'll pick our box, and under surface test type, we'll set it to volume inside. Once that is done, we will load in another scale. Click on scale, click and drag, load that in. In this scale, we'll also set it to absolute, but we'll leave the X, Y, Z values at 100%. Once that is done, connect the surface test with the scale. Yep, And now when we play the animation, our Death Star should reappear. It is currently in pixels. We'll set the display from small dots to geometries. And hang on, and what have I done wrong? Okay, for some reason this isn't set to absolute. Yep. So now it should play again. And as you can see, our Death Star is phasing in slowly as blocks, and then slowly building itself until it reaches its full form as such. For this, we can actually make it a little bit fancier again by adding what is called a time test. For the time test, we basically make the transitioning or the phasing a little even rougher than it already is, because at the moment it's still a bit smooth and squarish. So for this, we'll have to temporarily disconnect these two, and we'll add in a time test. Under time test, we'll keep all the settings exactly as they are, and we will connect the surface test into the time test, and then the time test into absolute. And then we can disable this. And as you can see, it's a lot rougher and more sort of sci-fi looking now, with it sort of phasing in to reality, or sort of warping in, so to speak. So when we play that animation, it will look something like this. Yep, and that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you've learned something and enjoyed it, and thank you.